Hellblade Senua's Sacrifice is out now for Nintendo Switch. I have been excited for this one for a very long time. I have heard nothing but glowing, gushing reviews about the game, and it won a bunch of awards. It honestly always seemed like it was right up my alley. I love Ninja Theory, and I hadn't played the game. So when we got an opportunity to play it for Nintendo Switch, I jumped on board right away. And first of all, let me just tell you, this game is amazing. If you've never heard of it, if it's never been on your radar, it deserves your attention. It is digital only, no physical release, because I know people do ask about that from time to time. But what you are seeing here is on Nintendo Switch, and man, oh man, did this game impress me with the way it runs, on top of the fact that it's just an awesome game. After playing the opening few hours, I am totally willing and perfectly okay with playing the rest of the game on my Nintendo Switch. I have a higher end PC, I have a PS4, I have an Xbox One, and this game is already available on all of those platforms. Obviously, you can get a better looking version of the game out there. We are not here to debate that. We know that the Switch has to make some concessions in order to maintain the portable nature of it, and it's just not as powerful. But it still looks super good in my opinion. I can't believe what they did here. Polish developer QLOC, or QLOC, handled the port this time, and they did a phenomenal job. And that's saying something, because it doesn't seem like they have too much experience on Nintendo Switch. They did port over Dark Souls Remastered to PS4 and Xbox One, but not Switch. And for this being their first time porting over something to our favorite hybrid platform, they just completely hit it out of the park. Now, we will talk about the handheld performance in a bit when we do show you some handheld footage, so stay tuned for that later in the video. But for now, let's talk about docked. Everything you are seeing right now is running natively on Nintendo Switch, and there are a couple of dips in the frame rate every once in a while, but it honestly has almost no problems maintaining that 30 FPS. And it did run 30 FPS on other platforms as well. Obviously, you can do other stuff on PC, but the PS4 version and the Xbox One base version also ran at 30, and it's a very cinematic game from beginning to end. You are being thrown into this almost hellish world, and it's honestly feeling like a descent into madness when I'm playing through it. And the visuals just go all over the place, from like burning, like hellish environments to just like very creepy and morbid looking ruins. They've done a really good job of maintaining the frame rate even during battle. Now, I said that the game ran at 30 FPS on other platforms, and that kind of comes with an asterisk, because the frame rate was actually uncapped, and clearly if you have PS4 Pro or Xbox One X, you were able to get near 60 FPS, but for the most part, the frame rate like on the base PS4 and Xbox One hovered somewhere around 30, 34, right around there according to Digital Foundry. So seeing that this is basically at 30 the entire time is awesome and incredibly impressive. I can't believe that they pulled this off. One thing that I did want to point out is that this game is incredibly intense and creepy in the best way possible. I honestly felt a little bit uneasy playing it, and that doesn't happen to me very often. It's not a horror game or anything like that, but it does deal with a lot of mature themes, insanity being one of them. And like I said, I did feel uneasy while playing, and that is something that is really welcome for someone like me, because I struggle to have feelings like this with video games. They don't usually strike a nerve the way that this one did. Hellblade Senua's Sacrifice is now on top of my playlist. There are a couple of games that we are playing through right now on Switch for review and stuff like that, and you'll hear about that very soon. This we're not going to review, but this is now the only thing I want to play. I want to continue this adventure, and I know it says something about a port when I'm playing and I forget that I'm playing on Switch. I was playing with my Pro controller, and I was just so entranced by the world, the environment, the battles, and the overall overwhelming nature of what this game throws at you that I never stopped and thought like, hey, this is on Switch and it looks super sweet. But with that said, there are two aspects to the Nintendo Switch. You can play dock like you've been seeing here, and clearly it looks phenomenal. I do fully recommend the game. Go get it if you've been on the fence, if maybe you've heard about it and you didn't have a chance to get it before. But with all that said, let's get into handheld mode and talk about that now. If you've been paying attention to our videos lately, you know that playing handheld has been something I've been doing more and more. It was one of my New Year's resolutions back in January to play Nintendo Switch in handheld more, and I'm just talking about Switch specific resolutions, so don't make fun of me for that. But regardless, and the game looks and like sounds beautiful on handheld. You are gonna want to play it with headphones. That is something that I will throw out there, because the speakers on the Switch I have found to be super underwhelming, and this game, the audio is absolutely important. You're hearing voices in your head very often. Sometimes it is integral to the gameplay and what you need to be doing next. So get yourself a decent pair of headphones and enjoy this. But as you can see here, it still continues to run and look beautiful when playing in handheld. Obviously, the resolution isn't going to be anywhere near as high, but that is to be expected. Playing with the Joy-Con still felt really natural. Sometimes with some of these games, I have issues with the Joy-Con just because they're a little small and my hand ends up, starting to hurt, especially when there is a lot of movement going on. But the combat in this is still, pretty fast-paced, honestly, and I felt pretty good with the Joy-Con. It still maintained those 30 FPS for the most part. Of course, dips every once in a while, but as you're seeing here in the middle of battle, there is nothing really taken away from the experience. Playing handheld could possibly be how I play through the rest of this game. And just like with the docked version, I came away impressed with playing handheld. Again, Q-Lock did a phenomenal job with this port, and it kind of feels like a lot of developers have kind of begun to step it up. Darksiders was another port that we had recently that was really fun, and I hope to continue to see all of these amazing games, even if they are a little bit older, like Senua's Sacrifice here proves. Sometimes you miss some of these. I never played Hellblade before I got to play on Switch, and this is the perfect opportunity for me to jump on now on my favorite hybrid platform. But let me know what you guys think in the comments below. I'm gonna leave it here, and you guys can watch the last few minutes of the handheld footage here. Decide for yourself if this is a game you want to pick up. I know for me, it is an absolute must-have based off what I've played. More third-party support on Nintendo Switch. Ninja Theory deserves the applause that they get for this game. Q-Lock did an amazing job with the port, and I can't say enough good things about it. Let me know in the comments below if you are getting it, and if you are, what you think about it. Hit the thumbs up if you enjoyed the video. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already done so. You guys are fantastic. We will catch you on the next one. Enjoy a few more minutes of handheld footage here just so you can make up your mind on how this works, and we will see you all later. Switch Force out. out.